Underground battles were always interesting, but they became even more interesting when people themselves did not take part in it and were not harmed. That is why underground battles of robots appeared. Yamaha won by destroying the bot. No one else dared to step into the ring against him except for a teenage boy. He also had a robot that he assembled himself. The robot was small, weak, more like iron sticks glued together, with a face. The boy's name was Hiro Hamada. Yamak agreed to fight with that. They put bots in the ring, put money. Hiro lost because the Yamaha robot was much stronger with a bunch of saws. However, Hamada took out the twisted bills and asked to play again. The battle has begun. The teenager activated another mode of his Megabot and destroyed his opponent, but the man didn't like it. He took away the boy's robot and ordered his henchmen to beat up Hiro, but at the same second, Tadashi Hamada, his brother, appeared on a motorcycle and saved him. At that time, the robot Hiro hit Yamaha and returned to his master. Tadashi was angry because his younger brother graduated from school at 13 and wasted his time in some underground fighting. Just as they were talking about how it was illegal, the police showed up and arrested Hiro. He was brought to the police station. Their Aunt Cass was very worried about them, and then she patted their ears. They arrived home, on the first floor of which there was a coffee shop. Hiro was going to fight again to earn more money, but his brother just got tired of repeating that he was investing his potential in some delusion. But Tadashi couldn't stop him, so he lied that he would give him a ride, but in reality they arrived at his university's robotics lab. He was literally among nerds and marveled at inventions. He was introduced to others. Moto Tamago, a girl who at the time made a motorcycle with magnetic wheels that could go even faster. Wasabi, who then made laser plasma and always sought cleanliness and order. Rudamayata, who was incredibly passionate about chemistry, which chemically split tungsten. Hiro was surprised at the nicknames, but it was all made up by Fred. Fred was a comic book fan who wanted to turn into a lizard from one of the cartoons. Tadashi took Hiro and led him further to show what he had been working on himself. Without explaining anything, the older brother grabbed the tape, stuck it on the boy's hand and sharply tore it off. And then a robot came out of the big red box and introduced himself as Baymax. He was responding to a request for medical help because he heard AI. The robot sprayed the damage and Hiro examined it in turn. Baymax gave him a lollipop and asked him to say whether the boy was satisfied with his condition, because until the robot heard this, it would not turn off. Then a man came into the room and recognized Hiro. He asked him to show his bot from underground battles, because his daughter was only interested in that. It was Robert Callahan who approved the laws of robotics. Hiro gained determination and desire to enter this university and began to ask his brother how to do it. Every year, Callaghan gives performances. If Hiro hits him, he will be taken. The guy decided to try to do something with his underground fighting bot. Tadashi's friends supported the little one. They took a selfie as a memory. Hiro was very scared, but went on stage and introduced the mic robot. His brother supported him. Hiro said it gets more interesting when the mic robot friends join. Hundreds of mic robots climbed onto the stage from the boxes and created a specific figure. These mic robots could be controlled using a neurotransmitter that Hiro had on his head. He just thought what he wanted and they did it. The crowd loved it. Alistair Cray and Robert Callahan approached. They quarreled among themselves. Cray wanted to buy mic robots, but Callahan began to say that he should not be trusted because he somehow neglected the honor of science. Hiro refused. Robert took the boy to his university. Aunt Cass was incredibly proud of her nephews. A fire broke out at the university. Tadashi ran inside because Callahan was there. Someone had to help. There was an explosion. Tadashi and Robert Callahan were killed. Hiro threw away the invitation from the university and his bot landed on his leg. He cursed in pain as at the same second Baymax pouted, reacting to the signal. He analyzed the teenager and made a diagnosis of transitional age, and then began to talk about the changes in the body that will accompany Hiro. Under the bed, the boy found a mic robot that was being dragged somewhere. But it was impossible. because the mic robot has to pull other mic robots, and they were all destroyed in the fire. Baymax said that the little robot wanted to go somewhere. Hiro ignored him, but Baymax, learning that it could calm the hormones in the boy's body, decided to figure out where the mic robot wanted to go. Baymax went away, and Hiro in turn ran after him, because he could not leave him. He lied to Aunt Cass about going to university still. The white robot found where the mic robot wanted to go. It was some sort of large hangar that contained hundreds of barrels of mic robots. Someone was copying them, when suddenly these small robots reached for what was in Hiro's hand. Baymax and Hamada started to run away when a person in a white mask appeared. They came home. Baymax's battery was almost dead. Hiro told him about Tadashi's death, and then suddenly realized that the fire was no accident. Someone planned everything to steal the mic robots. The boy realized that he needed to somehow improve Baymax so that he could fight. He downloaded martial arts information into it and then began to create a protective suit like armor. Hiro and Baymax went to that hangar. The car was following them, and the mic robot was rushing towards the sea. There was that man in the mask again. But the car slowed down. It was their friends. Moto Tamago, Fred, Root Mint and Wasabi. They began to talk. Hamada tried to get rid of them, because it was dangerous, when suddenly the man with the mic robots found them. Baymax could not cope with him, so he had to run away. Fred was delighted, because it was all just like in the comics. Moto took the wheel, because she wasn't going to follow the laws like Wasabi. The main task was to save oneself. They skipped the introduction. Baymax dropped his heavy armor and they floated away. I needed a place to spend the night. Fred led them to some very luxurious house. This was his home, which was the complete opposite of his appearance. They came to his room. Hiro drew the symbol that the masked man was carrying. It was a bird. Fred began to build theories with the help of comics, and the main one was that Alistair Cray was the man in the mask, because Hamada refused to sell him mic robots. Hiro refused this idea, because Mr. Cray is always in public. They didn't know anything about the attacker, but Baymax started talking about blood type and so on. He managed to scan the person in the mask, because he was programmed to do so. Hamada decided to perfect everyone. They decided to become heroes, and for this it was worth making costumes. They had to take the mask away, because it contained a neurotransmission. A bag with chemical elements was created for Rudiment. Moto had a suit with those magnetic wheels. For Fred, they made a lizard that could breathe fire. Wasabi had lasers on his hands that could cut. And Baymax got a red iron suit that even had wings. Hiro stood on his back. They were trying to fly and learning how to fly it, and they were doing great. Using his super sensor, Baymax found a match on the island. They tried to investigate the building. They found recordings from the cameras where they were working on the teleportation project. Cray was there. They conducted an experiment with the girl Abigail, but an accident occurred and the portals collapsed. Abigail did not return. A man in a mask appeared. An attempt to take the mask began. They removed the mask, but it was Professor Callahan. Hiro removed the chip from Baymax that prevented him from harming people, but his friends returned it, as it was not part of their plans. Hamada returned home and was about to extract the medical programming from Baymax, but Baymax would not comply. The robot started showing a video of Tadashi where he was just creating Baymax. The friends returned to him and found a flash drive with records that Callahan was also on that teleportation project. And Abigail was Robert's daughter. It was all about revenge. Cray was opening a new university. Suddenly the nanobots appeared led by Callaghan. The thief grabbed Alistair and began to say that he would take everything from him, as he took from Robert himself. A portal appeared above the university, which gradually began to pull everything in. 6 heroes appeared. They started a battle to remove the mask. Hiro began to be dragged to the portal, but Baymax saved him. They came up with a new plan. The mic robots had to be dragged to the portal. Hiro tore off the mask. The portal fell, but did not collapse. Baymax could sense signs of life in the portal. It was Abigail's daughter. They decided to fly there and save her. They found her capsule. Baymax's suit was beginning to crumble, but he could still save them. Hiro had to say that he was satisfied with the help. Baymax remained in the portal, which collapsed as soon as Hamada and Abigail left. Callahan was arrested. Hiro started going to university. He was left with the arm of Baymax's suit, which contained a medical programming chip. Hamada created Baymax. Write in the comments if you liked the story about this cartoon. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to watch even more interesting cartoons with me. See you soon.